They fucking did it. I'm sorry for the F words. I'm sorry, mama. He gone. He gone. I'm so happy, man. It's a minute past pissed with it. I'm a minute past pissed with it, but Matt Patricia's finally gone from the Detroit Lions organization, man. I would have been okay with keeping my Lions had, I think it's my, I would have been okay with keeping Patricia if anyone, but I'm not Patricia. Oh my god, please, please, please don't dub that or twist that. However the fuck whoever just heard that shit. But I would have been okay with keeping Quinn. But man, I'm so glad that Matt Patricia's gone, man. She snapped her fingers on that motherfucker, baby. The Infinity Stone. She bam gone. I'm super, super, super excited. Shout out to Jordan Rosario, keeping it 100. He's gone, bro. Yes, man. I guess it's a minute past piss with it, man. He should have been gone a long time ago. I was actually really disappointed that we kept him coming out of the bye week. I thought that going into the bye week, he made a statement about almost like complaining about the team he inherited from Coach Caldwell, like saying like it was bad, but it's like, bro, like we literally had a better record with Caldwell than we did with you. So like that from a leadership standpoint, you know what I'm saying? Like you're supposed to be the head coach. Like that can't be how you're speaking, man. This is poor. Like any type of leadership, ownership is a key attribute in that. And if you're unable to take ownership of your faults, then you'll never get better. You'll never fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like it's nonsense, man. But shout out to Jordan for tapping in, man. Matt Patricia is gone. I'm so damn excited that I wanted to go live. I have nothing prepared, guys. I was editing videos from like prior podcasts and conversations about the Roy Jones Jr. fight, which if you guys want to tap in talking about that, you know what I'm saying, we can talk about that too. But I'm just so goddamn happy Matt Patricia's gone, man. He's gone, man. Super, super excited. let me hey yo, the time right now too is 3:13. It's 3:13. Yeah, I honestly, man, I would have kept Quinn. I hate everything that I saw from Bob Quinn in his time here. I feel like he had some pretty solid draft picks later rounds. Um, I feel like we saw some production out of like the later picks, you know. The free agency shit, he wasn't great at. I'll be honest with that. I don't think he was great in that, but Matt Patricia had to go. That motherfucker had to go. And I was one of the people too, like say, give him some time. You know what I'm saying? Like, give my man like some like I was like, let him establish his culture, let him do all that shit. No, and they had to go. I'm glad he's gone, man. Matt Patricia's fucking gone from the Detroit Lions. Shouts out to Detroit Lions for finally nutting up and doing something. Like I said, it's a minute past piss with it, but it's about time. I guess we shouldn't have kept him going into the bye week. The dude's a terrible leader, and just that showed me he would never be anything great. As soon as he failed as a leader. Shout out to Rocco. He said Harbaugh need to be next. Yeah, man. For all my Michigan fans listening, I bet you all feel the same about that too. Yeah, that sucks. I'm a Michigan State guy, and I thought Harbaugh. I was excited when Michigan got Harbaugh because I'm like, okay, sweet. Now they might do something dope. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they'll be popping now. And no, Harbaugh's just been trash, and I feel so bad that you guys haven't beat Ohio State. That's just gotta hurt. It's like twisting the knife in your gut every single year. Where's the champagne, man? We don't got no champagne. We don't have. We got no. No, I ain't popping that off. Your boy Easy got the Rona, man. I've been locked up, man. I just literally just went live, man. I had nothing prepared. I was just so damn excited that I wanted to go live, man. What up, though, Archie? But yeah, some coaching candidates for the Lions up next, man. A lot of people talking about Eric Bieniemy. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't done my research. I didn't have faith that we were actually gonna go forward and fire Matt Patricia. But Eric Bieniemy, I think I like him. The one thing though I would say about Andy Reid teams is he's always been great at offense. Even back when he had Donovan McNabb, Terrell Owens, even with Alex Smith as a starting quarterback over there and Kansas City, he's always been a great. Oh, it's my high school English teacher, Miss Hammis. I am okay now. Yes, I am doing a lot better. Thank you too, Nathan. Yeah, I'm doing a lot better. Your boy Easy was suffering from the Rona a little bit there, but doing a lot better now. I just wanted to I am talking with a lounge, whatever you call them. I'm good. So like the symptoms, everything was like a regular cold, but it just wouldn't go away. It would not go away. It sucks so bad. It definitely is a serious thing that made me realize the prevention of it. I'm definitely gonna wear my mask, and I definitely don't want to spread that because anybody with a weaker immune system than I know, obviously it sucks, right? But even worse, they may not make it through it. But yeah, so make sure you guys are masked up too. Um, Matt Patricia's gone, man. I'm just so excited. I wanted to go live. If Rocco's still listening, man, we got to get a show in, man. If you guys don't know Rocco, I don't know how to say it. I don't want to butcher your last name, man. Maggio. He owns Rocco's Barbershop. We're always talking trash with the Michigan State, all kinds of football stuff, man. Man, I'm glad I'm feeling better too. The earlier days with the Rona, I was able to go live still and do a couple of shows with. I think we did Baby Hawk. We did the 012, and then after that, the last episode of that, I was dunzos. Your boy is sleeping all day. Literally all day. Like Thanksgiving. I watched a little bit of the Lions game. I think I made it to where it was like 21-40. That hurts. And then I was just making everything worse, so I turned it off and went to sleep for the day. Maybe it was a depression sleep. I don't know. But thank you to everybody for being glad that I'm better. I'm also glad though that Sheila Ford snapped her fingers on that man, Patricia. He gone, baby. He gone, man. You think we need a young up and comer yeah, man. Yes. Yeah, you think we need a young up-and-comer for the Lions' new coach? Absolutely. I think that's where it's at. I think that's where the league's headed. And if you look at the successful, like, new coaches, at least, come to my mind, I automatically think of Sean McVay, and I think of Brendan Shanahan out in California. They're killing it, and they're both young guys. McVay, I couldn't even tell you what his position was before head coaching. I mean, I'm sure it was some sort of coordinator. I can look it up too. I'll probably do that. Who was on tap to replace Matt Patricia? I do not know. Let me look. Let me look at the name of these candidates right now. See if there's anything in the news right now cycling around. Who's going to replace Matt Patricia? Sorry, guys, I didn't mute myself for a cough right there. But let me see. Eric Bieniemy, I think I like it, but again, guys, I'm not completely sold because the coach that he's under right now, Andy Reid's one of the greatest. In my opinion, he is like one of the best. For as long as he's been in the league, he's always had successful teams and successful offenses. So I don't know how much the Kansas City Chiefs is Eric Bieniemy being the offensive coordinator more than it is having a guy like Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and again, one of the best coaches to do it, and Andy Reid. Young up and comers though, man. Let me see. I'm clicking on this. Is anybody posting up names? Darrell Bell is going to be the interim head coach for the Detroit Lions. That's our offensive coordinator. He coached with Seattle. He's the one called the last play though against the Patriots in that Super Bowl. Going to cost him a ring there. And I'm just looking for some names on like I said, like Miss Hammond said, who's on tap to replace Matt Patricia. I'm scared I'm gonna get caught coughing on here, and you guys will turn me to that cat meme. You ever see the meme of the cat coughing? It's like, yeah, it's about time, man. It's about time this guy goes. I'm not really seeing anything as far as like leaders of like young up and coming coaches though. Feel free to comment, throw out some names though, guys. I'm trying to think. I would take some like whoever's there in San Francisco. I'll look around there. Maybe even the Rams a little bit too. Yeah. New other head coaches, other young not even head coaches. You know what happens? My man and Joe Brady. Who is that, Sean? Joe Brady. Good name you just made up. Sean, I'm gonna send you an invite too if you want to tap in. I don't know if you're available or not. Oh, you are. Sorry guys, I rushed to put this out. I asked a couple people if they wanted to go on. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm freaking rushing through this one. Joe Brady. Let's look him up. Panthers offensive coordinator. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. I feel like, I mean, look what he did to us last week. With the XFL MVP. He also, I think they had Kyle something last year, and they did pretty well then. And they do just enough, and they've been in some like close games. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up the Panther schedule. Sorry, guys. I'm just deciding like what tabs I want to close out and what tabs I don't. Get the Panther schedules and scores. Hey guys, right now, Joe Brady. So the Panthers, week 1, they lost to the Raiders, 30-34. Raiders aren't a bad defense at all, and I guess I remember the two. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs, so they put up 30 on them. Only 17 against the Buccaneers, but that's the Buccaneers. Like we all know that defense is amazing. Should know now. 21-16 against the Chargers. Chargers are a tough team, tough out. That's what I was gonna say. The Chargers head coach, something Lindsay, I want to say. I wouldn't be mad if he got canned. I'd give him a chance here. I know they have a losing record, but all of them have been by one score. And keep in mind, he has a rookie pick this year. 31-21, Panthers beat the Cardinals. We beat the Cardinals too, though. Still 30 points. Maybe that's average, though, today's NFL, 30 points now. 23-16 Falcons. Falcons are kind of a bad team. It's also a divisional game. 16 points against the Bears. 24 against the Saints. 17 against the Falcons. But that was an ugly, really, really ugly Thursday night game, which honestly, all Thursday night games are kind of ugly to me. They put up 31 on the Chiefs. They still put up 23 the second time against the Bucks. And then obviously the 20-0 victory against the Lions. Anthony Lynn, that's what it is. Yes. If Anthony Lynn gets fired, I'll take him. I ain't saying for sure that I want him, but that's like one of the first names that popped in my head was Anthony Lynn. Again, the Chargers they've been losing games, but all one-score games. And I'm not, other than last week, I'm not 100% sure of their schedule, but they've all been really close games. He has a rookie quarterback, Jake versus Nate. How's it going? Jake versus Nate. Oh, yeah, man. We were supposed to have Nate Robinson on the podcast, man. I had the Rona and I just couldn't do it, guys. Shout out to Polo for hooking that up, though. I wasn't gonna make it to that podcast, man. The Rona had your boy down and out. So hopefully we get Nate Robinson post fight, and hopefully a post fight when Nate Robinson's a victory on his end. The 49ers DC, Robert Saleh. Yeah, I think he's from Dearborn too. If I'm mistaken. There's a podcast that we might be joining with actually here locally, the Sports Network. Shouts out to I can shout him out now. Shout out Woodward Sports. But yeah, that's my man Stick. That was one that he brought to my mind too. Robert Saleh. I don't know if I'm saying his name properly either. Rocco head coach. No, I think he's referred to the defensive coordinator you posted about. Sean, you hop in, man. What was good? I sent you the link on Instagram. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Robert's. Let me look up Robert's credentials. I know he's from Dearborn, right? Robert Saleh is an American football coach who's defensive coordinator of San Francisco 49ers National Football League. He previously served as assistant coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Seattle Seahawks, and Houston Texans. Yeah, he's pretty young, too. He's only 41. He's from Dearborn. He's married to – I'm just kidding, guys. Yeah, you know what? They had a badass defense last year, too. So you know what? I like that. I like that a lot. I would like to have him as well. I think round 1 and 2, Jake, 3, 4, 5, 6, Nate. Yeah, it could go that way. It's such an interesting matchup, man. I know we're here for the Matt Patricia firing, but I cannot wait for that fight. I think even more so than Roy Jones and Mike Tyson. I'm more excited for Nate Robinson and Jake Paul. I don't know why. What up, though, Andrew Cannon? We're talking about the Matt Patricia fire, man. I'm so damn excited, man. I had to go live. I hadn't prepared. Very little information, man. I pressed the button and went live because this shit's lit, man. We were looking up some head coaching candidates. Robert Salah was the one that came up. Am I saying his name right? I hate when if I'm totally unsure of how the fuck I'm saying his name. I'm sorry for swearing too, if Miss Hams is listening. That sucks. Just having a potty mouth. All right, let's see. Detroit Free Press. Here's some candidates. Oh, I gotta pay for a subscription to read? What is this? Get out of here. This content is only available for subscribers. Well, guess what? I'm out. I don't give a fuck about you. Happy as me too, man. Oh, what up, Ladarius? How you been, man? I ain't talked to you in a minute. Happy as hell too, man. I really want to see the memes of oh shit. Here he my J. Oh, man, my man Sean Kiernan from the SK Sports Podcast. What up, man?
What's up? How are you?
What'd you say?
How you feeling,
bro? I'm excited, man. I'm pumped. It's been a long time coming, man. Ever since he made that weak ass excuse heading into a bye week, and I was like, this guy is piss poor leadership, man. Like there's no way that you continue with that guy as your head coach. Like he can't even I don't know, man. I'm really big on the ownership attribute of leadership, and when you fail that, you can't be the leader of my organization. It's not my organization, but the organization I'm a fan of, you know.
But now this proves this is a lot though, because when you look at a defensive-minded coach like Matt Patricia is, just because you're like a defensive coordinator doesn't always mean that you're gonna pan out as a head coach in the league. And now what this actually shows to us is that hey, some guys are just not made to be a head coach in the National Football League, and this is completely one of them. You know, we have multiple guys out there that still have a job. You know, you still have Adam Gase out there who does not deserve a job, but that's another topic for another day. But today's the Detroit Lions day, and now, man, you should be jumping up and down right now because that he had his contract. I believe it was under to 2022. They had a longer deal with him, so I'm glad he's gone. Bob Quinn is gone, the general manager. That's even better. The future is looking somewhat promising now that you let go of a head coach and a general manager that were doing nothing for the organization.
Rocco says, bro, every time you cough makes you want to go through a mask. Would make you want to go throw a mask on.
Oh man,
my bad. I'm gonna press the mute button that way. Boom. It's a magic production, baby. I got that's probably the one thing that I haven't even looked at or noticed. Not I obviously noticed, but I haven't looked into is what are we gonna do at the general manager position, man? That's a lot more scary to me than head coach, honestly. Because he's bringing you the tools, right? He's doing the shopping.
And that's a major problem too, because now you can't even make the head coach decision first, because really you got to make that GM. You have to fill up that GM spot, because now what happens if let's just say you bring in a head coach first, right? Now, all of a sudden with the new GM, what happens if he's not going to get along with this guy? Then you're screwed. It's you can't have that. You can't have miscommunication already between these two. So you got to figure something out. GM has to be filled out first. And you got right off the bat, you got to talk about possible candidates and how do you think you would work with the next head coach?
Yeah, what's GM tree do you think we should be picking off of? Because really comes who finds the most diamonds in the rough now? Is it the Niners and James Lynch? Right? Is that who's over there?
Yeah, that's who's it. Yep,
former safety.
The Raiders made a crazy move. Remember when they got NFL analyst from the NFL Network, Mike Mayock, I think his name is.
Yeah, they got Mike Mayock. I used to watch all his what do you call him? His pre-drafts or
Yeah.
mock drafts, what you call them? Yeah. Yes, that's the thing is like GM position. I'm more unsure because I'm less educated, I guess, in who are the candidates. At least coaching, I'm kind of happy with like a lot of these names that people have thrown out. Now I like Robert Saleh, and I like the fact that he's from Dearborn. But like you said, I will say like defensive coordinators, like looking throughout most recent history, I feel like offensive coordinators are the way to go. And as far as head coaching, like when I think of like young head coaches that are kind of killing it, other than the 49ers this year, though, I think of Sean McVay and Brendan Shanahan. Other than that, I mean, it's Kansas City Chiefs offense. Like nowadays, the way the NFL is played, I feel like you need an offensive coordinator as your head coach, and then defensive. That's when your GM is supposed to slide through and to get you all those replacement guys or guys just gonna get done.
And hey, I'll cheer you up even more because the Jets thought they had a so-called offensive guru. They were calling Adam Gase when they hired him.
Yeah, because he was where before the Broncos, right?
Gase, he was with Miami, and that didn't work out with Ryan Tannehill. Obviously, we all know about that. That was hard to begin with.
Okay, but yeah, because wasn't he the Broncos coordinator? Oh, he's from Michigan. I didn't know that. Adam Gase is from Ypsilanti.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that either. That's interesting.
I didn't know that either. For some reason, I thought he was the
Stay away from Detroit when you get fired. Stay the heck.
Oh yeah, hell no. That guy is awful. I feel bad for him. Oh my goodness, his Wikipedia. I gotta show you guys this. This is hilarious. Hold on one second.
His press conference, man, you just never forget it. To this day, I still don't know what the heck was up with him.
What happened at his press conference?
Just the eye popping. There it
is. Yeah, as I say, this is his. Wow.
There's your offensive guru. There's the GOAT play caller right there.
There you go. New GM would be a hard position to fill. It's a different game being played today. Lots of offense. Yeah. I think when you're looking for a coach, I want to follow the 49ers recipe where they got the offensive mind guy at head coach and they got the defensive like guru type dude at GM. With Lynch. Because Lynch was a hard-hitting safety in the NFL when he played, and he killed it, obviously. multiple-time Pro Bowler. And I think it's James Lynch, but I know a guy, James Lynch, covers MMA. I think that's why I'm saying it. That may not be his first name, but John Lynch, that's what it is. Yeah. GM in San Fran. But yeah, get a guy like that, though, to fill your roster on the defensive end. And obviously you want good coaching coordinators, whatever there. But I feel like offense is where it's at nowadays in today's league.
Yeah, that's the direction for sure that this league is going in, and even for a head coach, and like we said, like
that. So I was right. Broncos offensive coordinator for Peyton Manning. Yeah, that's to say, Adam Gase. I feel like his career a lot of it was built because he had Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel the same way about Mike McCarthy. Like he was given the head coaching job in Dallas. I'm like, that's not the guy I'd pick. He had Aaron Rodgers his whole career. Like Adam Gase and freaking Peyton Manning, and now you think he's a great head coach, but he had a freaking coach on the field, running the offense.
And that's
what were you going to say, though? I apologize.
No, and just like when you just mentioned Mike McCarthy, that's the thing, though, with Dallas. Like when they moved on from Jason Garrett, they're in their new head coach. They were looking for a guy who was like, not going to steal that quote unquote spotlight from Jerry Jones. And, when you bring in this guy McCarthy, he's not going to take that away from you. Like he's not going to argue with you about anything really. So Jerry Jones is like, okay, Mike McCarthy, he seems like he's a puppet type dude as well. So why not? So this is where Dallas is at right now. And I didn't think it was a good move for them. It's like, poor play calling from him in general, like, on multiple occasions. Even before the fake punt, you look at 4th and inches. I forgot they're in their own territory, of course. But you're passing it on 4th and inches why are you not involving Zeke? Why is Zeke not getting that ball? I don't get that. Or even Tony Pollard. I don't know why an RB is not getting that ball. It ends up being thrown on 4th and inches. That was just, I don't know. That told me, red flags going off. They're going to struggle today.
I heard about it. I was KO'd for that game, though. Thanksgiving The Rona had me in a chokehold. Had me.
Ooh, Stafford. Yo, easy. You're muted. Yo, you're still muted.
How about now?
Good.
That's about for real. That's a really good question, Rocky. He says, do you think we need to trade Stafford while he has value? The only reason why I say yeah, because I think Stafford's a good enough quarterback to win, right? I think we've discussed this in the past. We see guys like Eli Manning, your New York Giants win one twice. Yeah, who do you think's better, Eli Manning or Stafford? Like skill set wise, like.
To be skill set wise, man, I would have to go with Stafford.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I feel like Stafford's talented enough to win, especially when you witness, Eli win one, Joe Flacco won one. I feel like he's their skill level, but as far as like mental, like he's got to be worn out, man. How many head coaching regimes has he been through? Where guys are coming in and they're starting shit brand new. And it's like he had Schwartz and he had Caldwell, the Patricia, and now another guy. I think it may be time to let Stafford go good point, like while he has value, and just so we can get a fresh start. Nothing against Stafford, and he's not the greatest. I hate the Detroit Lions fans that think he's the greatest. Like that drives me crazy because like he clearly has some flaws, but he's good. But I think mentally, I don't know if he'll be able to be the guy to lead us into like a new culture, I guess, because we need to get back to winning, man. And not that we won before, but we're at least in the playoffs.
And here's the thing too, like especially if you're bringing, let's just say if the GM is on, let's just say he's really young, and then you bring in a young head coach too. I don't see the veteran quarterback sticking around for that. You know what I mean? Like it's time to move on from him, just because like, do you really expect him to go through another phase with this organization? It's just like there's no time for that in his career. It's like, how old is he now? Like 32 years old now? Something.
Yeah, Stafford's getting up there, man. It's crazy because like I was watching a little bit of the Thanksgiving game, and Tony Romo was talking about how he still like Stafford still has some of his arm. I'm like his arm power. I'm like or strength, and I was like, damn, like Stafford is actually getting old. Like where like maybe some attributes are supposed to be falling.
Yeah.
Shout out to BS3 Radio. Man, Ben said, sup, easy, sup, Sean. About time. Sorry, guys, this is dying right there for a minute. I think too. Ben's Cowboys could use a new like quarterback. They haven't really been fully committed to Dak, although Jerry's been saying it. Like maybe you guys take care of Stafford. Give us that first round pick that's going to be high this year.
You can only say it so many times, though. Like, how many more times do Cowboy fans and even everybody else who loves the game of football could hear this? It's like, Dak, just get the deal done with him. Like up to this point, it's like this. I'm tired of just hearing it. It's like, dude, just actually get the deal done with him.
It's all talk. They don't. And to be fair though, Dak is like I don't know if I want to pay Dak that much money. To be honest with you, as if I'm like,
and this is what kills me too, because now when you look at Prescott and unfortunately, him getting hurt, and that might hurt him in an extension with the Cowboys in some way, shape, or form here. Here's the thing with that, because like I feel like Jones might, he's going to use that against him and be like, oh well, you weren't healthy for this whole entire season, so I can't commit this amount of money, So, man, it's tough. It's tough.
Ben says, "Nah, we have Andy." Sign Dak. All right. So, would you rather have? I wish Ben was here. Would you rather have Dak or Stafford though? Like, just give us that first round. You're not gonna get my man from Clemson. That's the only quarterback you want out of the draft.
No, Dallas. They need to stick with Dak. They're crazy if they move on from him. I'm sorry, you just can't.
Yeah.
That guy's.
Yeah, I guess quarterbacks is hard to come by. Like, especially being here in Detroit, like before Stafford, the amount of guys we saw at that position, was just good quarterbacks are hard to come by, and that's why like I feel ungrateful almost saying that we should trade Stafford, but I also like understand I guess the mental aspect of it. We were talking about GMs earlier though, and I did pull up a list of I think it says Matt Miller's. Yeah, Matt Miller's scouting notebook, top NFL GM candidates, 2020 big board and more. There's Joe Douglas from the Philadelphia Eagles, which I'm not familiar with. Are you familiar with that guy?
Uh, he's the one that's been a part of the. He was in the Eagles front office when they won the Super Bowl, right? He's still there, I think, right?
Okay. Yeah. I'm assuming so. If he's in on the list, he must have been there. But like, I feel like they've made some pretty like, no, I mean they made some pretty good trades. I guess like, would they get Darius Slay for like a third round pick,
Mhm.
something crazy like that?
I do see two names I do like, and Ed Dodds is one. He's the assistant GM over in Indianapolis. I do like him. I
I
heard
like that
a lot
one
about
too.
him being tossed as taking a head GM spot. And the other one is Daniel Jeremiah from NFL Network. We've seen Mike Mayock get an opportunity with the Raiders. Obviously, Jeremiah is really knowledgeable. He's somebody that you can look out for as well, and especially he's young too. Like if you want to talk about moving forward in the organization, going young, Jeremiah might be that type of guy that you take a flyer on.
Yeah, I like so the two that I like when I was looking, the Mike Borganzi.
Yeah.
Say that one 10 times fast for me, just real quick, so I feel less like an idiot. No, I'm just kidding. But the Kansas City Chiefs, man, they have so many damn like weapons, and they keep finding these running backs. Like even before they drafted Edwards-Helaire, they lost Kareem Hunt, but they kept filling in guys like Spencer Ware. Like you know what I'm saying, they kept finding these running backs who just filled that same hole, the same like position of value, the same way they needed it to be. Damian Williams arguably could have won the Super Bowl MVP last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I like him in Kansas City. Um, how do they end up with Sammy Watkins and Tyreek Hill? Like that's insane. So I like that. I know he's not. I don't know if he's the GM there. He must be just working in the front office or something like that. But yeah, then Ed Dodds too. Like you look at an organization like the Indianapolis Colts who lost Andrew Luck, who was one of those generational talents at the quarterback position. At least I felt like, and look at them now. They're still like thriving. They're still doing pretty well. And even when they had Jacoby Brissett and they're just kind of struggle busting through, like I think it was last year, their defense, the guys they found on defense were like still really good. Like a lot of good key pieces of talent that they've been able to collect as an organization and somehow stay like in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unlike us, like, and you know they've had shit for quarterbacks, and you know they've I feel like that'd be the guy actually. I'm thinking about GM candidates.
Yeah, and like another thing about Dodds too is that when you look at somebody like him, it's also who he's working with too. He's working with a pretty good GM in Ballard over there in Indy. So
Yeah.
that actually is gonna help him get a potential job. You know, it depends. Not even just like it's not even just about what you know. It's who you know and who you work with. And you know, with that type of resume that Chris Ballard has, that might help him out a lot.
My bad, still muted from the cough. No, 1,000%. I that's what I'm saying. Like that guy is such a great, I guess, prospect for me for sure. Like coming from that organization specifically, because they've had a lot of situations where you think they would have been like down and out or in the same position as a Detroit Lions, but they haven't. They've been thriving, and now look at them. I did not think the Indianapolis Colts were going to be like what they are at this point in the season. I don't think. I thought the defense was pretty solid, but I thought maybe it was a little fluky. But the record, and they went on, they beat the Packers too. Like, goddamn, they're actually a lot better than I've been giving them credit for throughout this. And all the running backs over there too now. They got Hines, they got Jonathan Taylor, and who's the other guy now too? It was kind of kicking ass for a little bit there.
Oh yeah, what's his face? I think Jordan Wilkins. I think his name is. He's coming up in the rankings for them too.
Yeah, I really like that guy. I'd like to have him here as the GM then, I guess Mike Borgans. I fucking say the name Borganzi. It's got to be it. I'm making my English teacher. She's not so proud right now. I mean, listen to me try to say this guy's name. It's all in who you know. Yeah, it's true. Maybe some people don't want to come to Detroit.
No, but I think too. I heard something about it. This was now on Bleacher Report that I was reading an article on. But someone asked the question about to AP about his thoughts on the firing, and AP was basically saying that it sucks that He's like, I thought he was a pretty good coach. It just sucks that we weren't able to translate it into wins for him. You know, that's what he was basically saying. And I was like, when I saw that, I'm like, I don't believe that at all, because like those guys are definitely dancing in the locker rooms because he had no other choice but to say that. It's like, what else do you expect him to say? Why would you even ask him that question? It's like, what is he gonna say? He was a horrible coach, and I hope I never see him in the league again as a head coach. What else is he gonna say?
Yeah,
that's a stupid question to ask him.
Yeah, that's like when I had Darius Slay on. I know, like it was like low hanging fruit to kind of get him to kind of try to like bash on Patricia a little bit. So I didn't want to do it too much because like he's gonna say good things, right? And I just didn't want like that like on the show, or like
yeah.
But I think when because one of the people how we're doing the comments now, somebody asked him Darius, and he was like he said he's a good coach. He just doesn't really respect him as a man or something like that. I was like, oh. I was like, that's a way of going around it or about it.
Interesting.
Go ahead, say what you're saying. My bad.
No, I was just saying that's interesting right there.
Yeah, Nathan says Bill Cowher or Jimmy Johnson could be potential targets for the Lions head coaching job. Hell no. All right. And Bill Cowher's an amazing coach. Jimmy Johnson was an amazing coach in his heyday too, but I don't want old coaches, man. They play like an old style of football. Like the game's not the same. It's a totally different game than it was when those guys were coaching.
Oh my goodness!
I think we saw that with John Gruden too. First came back, he was struggling there for a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they get back into the groove of things the way it is now.
You're better off going young. That's Yeah,
1,000%, man. I mean, yeah. I don't think those guys are coming back, especially not to a situation like the Detroit Lions either. No, all due respect to my Lions, but it's not the one that I don't think everyone wants to be at, or it's a big task. I haven't heard you swear this much since high school. Yes, yeah, I agree, Miss Amos. We need new, fresh blood running the league, 1,000%. Yeah, I want to go younger. Those GM candidates, I'm really sold on the guy. Honestly. So yeah, who's this guy from the NFL Network that you were talking about? Daniel Jeremiah?
He's another guy who's just like a big time analyst for NFL Network, and he has his own mock drafts and stuff each and every year. He's really knowledgeable. That guy. He's definitely somebody I would consider.
Leave me alone, Jordan. He's a long rebuild for Detroit. First show I did with Jordan, it was me, it was Jordan, a Jets fan, Ben, and I, and he kept saying, I don't want to pick on you guys because all our teams suck right now. I was dying. That was a fun show.
Jordan's feeling like they're coming off a win against Miami, so he's feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, man, I didn't expect that. Denver's been catching some wins against some pretty good teams, like when you least expect it. That one against the Patriots there. And I guess the Patriots aren't like the Patriots of old. Yeah, but like, and then Miami too, because Miami was on a run there. I thought they were going to win that game for sure.
Yep.
Tua got benched. I didn't even get to watch that game. I was sick that day too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tua ended up getting benched. Fitzpatrick came back in. As of right now, I heard that it looks like Tua is going to miss tomorrow's game. I think Fitzpatrick's in again. So we'll see what happens.
Wow. Is he hurt or he's getting benched for Fitzpatrick?
I think Tua's actually hurt.
Oh, okay.
From what I've been reading, he's hurt this time.
One of my Detroit Lions fans, Rocco, he asked the question, what about the Ohio State quarterback? Make a trade for a better pick. You watch college football more than I do. What's the verdict on him?
And it's going to be a major problem when you're looking at quarterbacks, and not even just quarterbacks, like other positions in this draft, because not everybody's playing the same amount of games. Because like if you're basing it off this 2020 season, it's a very small sample size, and Justin Fields is a terrific quarterback. I think he's definitely worth it. He might end up having a better career than Trevor Lawrence. You never know. I think he might. But it's gonna be really a difficult situation because everyone's gonna base it off of this season, and Ohio State's only playing about 5 games if they even hit that, because this is the second consecutive week that they're not second consecutive. I mean, 2 games out of the past 3 weeks they're getting screwed out of playing because they had to cancel games due to COVID. now. But Fields overall in general, terrific talent. He's definitely somebody you're worth trading up for. Depends where you guys end up getting your draft pick, but he's somebody for sure you definitely consider.
Let me see if I get some highlights of him going here real quick too. Then I'm not a big college football guy, especially with the season starting all weird like it did.
Sports and news. YouTube TV. Try it.
I'll say this about Fields though, easy.
YouTube has the most
That-
powerful app.
Oh, sorry.
He's going to be the best. He's the best quarterback that's coming out of Ohio State, though. Like he's better than your Cardale Jones, J.T. Barrett. He's better than all those guys. Dwayne Haskins. He's nothing compared to those three.
Yeah, Dwayne Haskins, man, I was really disappointed in that. I thought he was going to be a lot better than he showed. So is this guy supposed to be like Cam Newton? Is this his like pro comparison?
Yeah, that's a pro comparison. I see. I'm not a big fan of giving guys pro comparisons just yet. But yeah, that's the one I've been hearing is a lot of people compare him to Cam Newton.
Is he a junior right now or senior?
He is I believe he's a junior, but he's 100% declaring for the draft.
Oh, he could throw too. Man, honestly, too, as like I like dual quarterbacks. Quarterbacks that can run because I feel like you need to be able to win both ways, right? Like
Yep.
you need to be able to throw, you need to be able to run when you need to too. Like we look at guys like Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson of last year, but
even you look at now, you see Deshaun Watson out there looking. It's just
Russell Wilson,
yeah,
Kyler Murray,
yeah, Murray too. And see,
dude,
best
so
part
fun watching that guy run. His
No.
little scamper legs.
best part about Kyler Murray though is that it just proves to you when you look at Fields here, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, but what about his size? What do you mean? What about his size? What's wrong? Hey, you look at Kyler Murray.
Yeah, see, Rocco's on the same tip. So, pocket QBs are a thing of the past. I feel got to have a mobile quarterback for sure, man. You need multiple ways to win. You can have a guy like that. Aaron Rodgers, one of those guys who used to be mobile too.
Oof! Look at that. That's an Aaron Rodgers type deep ball right there to Devontae Adams.
Yeah, man, I would be pumped if we got this guy. Looking at watching these highlights, I haven't been watching. I'm a Spartans guy, so once my Spartans went on a little decline there, so did my viewership of college football.
Oh, there's a big game for your Spartans today. They're playing Northwestern. Big game.
Yeah, I hear Northwestern might represent the Big Ten if there's a. Oh yeah, this guy's good. Yeah, I'm hearing Northwestern's like the hot shots of the Big Ten this year.
Yeah, as of right now, they are 5-0, and it gets crazier than this because they haven't had this good of a start, especially in the Big Ten conference since 1996. I was reading they haven't had this good of a start in the Big Ten, so it's crazy how lopsided this conference is because you're used to seeing Penn State up top there. You're used to hearing about Michigan Wolverines up there, Minnesota in the recent past. All those schools are at the bottom, and you have Northwestern coming up. Who am I missing? Indiana that's coming up. There's another school. I think I think Nebraska is in the middle of the pack. They're not great. They're not horrible, but I think they're in the middle. But that's another school that's coming up.
State just scored on Northwestern, 7-0. Go green, baby. Rockies to go.
That's a trap game for Northwestern. I'll say that it's a trap game right there.
Yeah. When we beat Michigan this year, repeat when we beat Michigan this year. Did I say we beat Michigan this year yet? Okay, but that was a game that a lot of my state friends were telling me that we weren't supposed to win because of the loss to Rutgers. But I don't know, man. I was really sad to see D'Antonio go because obviously the great stuff that he did here as a head coach. But this new guy's not looking too shabby, right? I mean, he could maybe develop into something later on. I don't know.
No, I like it, to be honest with you. And you can't really expect anything amazing from this program just yet because
Yeah.
obviously new head coach. You got to get work on more recruiting. Obviously, he has to work on that. But that's a team that's definitely on the rise in the Big Ten too, because and like teams like yours who are like on the younger side of things, who are just on the rise too, like they're gonna come back really soon because those type of schools, they don't stay mediocre forever. Like those schools are, especially Michigan State, they want to definitely get back into swing of things here, where they know that hey, Michigan is struggling. They're like this. We could beat these guys every year now. Let's convince these players instead of going to Michigan to come over to the Spartans. Why not?
Yeah, no, I think that's the one thing too I've been so proud of as a Michigan State fan, because like I don't think that we are one of those blue chip recruiting teams like a Michigan or like a Alabama. Like those teams that used to bring in like just that first round picks every year, because of the recruiting. So like I was really nervous at leaving D'Antonio because I feel like he built a recruiting established, like because we had success with him, and people knew his name in the program, from him. So I was really nervous about that, but if he can coach them up, man, maybe they'll come and we'll be one of the better. Yeah, who's your you're a Notre Dame guy.
Yeah, I'm a Notre Dame.
You're like not in the Big Ten, but you are. You had rivalries here.
Yeah, my team. They just because it was 2020, they decided to join the ACC. That's the first time they're in a conference in football. So it's just a first for everything for them this year regarding the ACC. Usually we don't play Clemson in the regular season. That's the first time that I've seen a matchup in quite some time. I think last time they played I think they were at Clemson, and I think Deshaun Watson was the quarterback. So that was going back maybe 3-4 years ago, I think, somewhere along those lines.
Is Brian Kelly still there?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
Yeah, he just picked up his 100th career win at Notre Dame finally recently. I think it was it was after the Clemson win. So yeah, that was 2 weeks ago.
Congrats.
Yeah.
I think he used to coach at Central Michigan, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it? I know he coached Cincinnati. I know that. I don't know if he coached somewhere before that. I know he.
Yeah, he coached in Central Michigan. I remember because we had a Matt conference. Dan something. I don't even know what is that. Dan Lefevre. He was a stud, but Brian Kelly was a coach then. Notre Dame is fantastic this year. Fun to watch. Classy organization, Rocco says.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, they've been a lot of fun. Their defense, man, like their defensive line is legit. Like they were going up against a really tough. I think, at least in my opinion, they were tough because North Carolina heading into that game, they were one of the top offenses in the country, and like they have a mediocre, pretty good quarterback in Sam Howell over there, and in that second half, they just completely shut them down. Like North Carolina couldn't get anything going.
What did you think when they joined the ACC? Like, were you thinking, like, did you have a preference of conference from the join based on history, or you want the easiest one to win?
To be honest with you, ACC made the most sense just because of just about every other sport they're involved in, like, basketball, baseball. They're all in the ACC conference. So for them to play football in that conference this year made a lot of sense. And plus, I was tired of hearing all the people saying that Notre Dame is independent. They can't win big-time games. They got to play Clemson. They got to deal with those guys. We dealt with them this year. We're in the conference. We finally dealt with them. I know we were missing Trevor Lawrence. That's the first thing people are going to say, that, Clemson didn't have Trevor Lawrence. But guess who was their quarterback? A terrific 5-star freshman quarterback. I can't even pronounce his last name. I got to get that down. It's a long last name. But man, that kid was terrific on the primetime stage. And that was an offensive shootout. So, like, you can't really tell me that, hey, Notre Dame isn't relevant right now. So I'm glad we're in the conference just to shut up those type of people in college football.
Yeah. Yeah, that what's going on with him, Trevor Lawrence?
The reason why he wasn't playing against Notre Dame was because of he tested positive for COVID. So he was out for 2 games, I want to say. And then Clemson was supposed to play at Florida State last weekend. That game got postponed. I want to say about 3-4 hours before kickoff because something was going on within the Florida State program with COVID. So they canceled that game on Clemson. So we haven't seen them in some time. So
Man, I'm looking at like draft predictions, like the mock draft orders. And the Lions are still out of the top 10. We might not be able to grab that guy from Ohio State.
that's like I'll say this too because there's some other quarterbacks that you could look out for too. Zach Wilson from BYU is an interesting name, and here's the thing with him too. I think he was a Heisman candidate, but BYU is going to be off. I would say about 2.5 weeks because they don't have another game until about mid-December. So that's really tough for them. Like if you're basing off of this year with Zach Wilson, it's going to be hard to do because they only played 8 games so far. So that's hard to base him off that. Another guy. Who's another guy? Trey Lance from North Dakota State. But that's a guy you haven't seen either. That's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, is that where Carson Wentz is from?
Yeah, that's where Carson Wentz is from. Yep.
There's a quarterback factory now, huh?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Zach Wilson, BYU.
Mm-hmm.
Got some names.
Another guy. I don't know how you feel about this guy. I don't know if you've seen this kid play. His name's Kyle Trask. He's from Florida. That's somebody I like. He's like a Joe Burrow type because he's a senior. He's a guy who just basically is going off in his senior year, just like what Joe Burrow did for LSU last year. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I feel bad for him, man. Getting the boot for the rest of the season. But I mean, for organization wise, though, maybe they'll get higher picks and they'll be able to build around him a little bit more, though. So I mean, there's that maybe as a bonus. Maybe they'll draft some offensive linemen.
They need it. They need it. Oh man.
Yeah. Shoot, man. I think I might wrap this one up, get some fluids in me so I could watch some Tyson. Are you watching that fight tonight?
Oh heck yeah. Oh heck yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're from New York. You gotta watch that one.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah. Who are you taking? Any early predictions for you?
Give me Tyson.
Tyson? Yeah. Yeah, I think so too, man. I before the Matt Patricia news, I got aside from my Detroit Lions, baby. But before then, I was doing I was editing a couple past interviews with the UFC fighters, like who they picked in the matchup. I think if I got the time, maybe I'll do one for Nate Robinson and Jake Paul. Yeah, who you taking on that one? Nate Robinson, Jake Paul fight. Yeah, so I got Nate Robinson, the former slam dunk champion, he's up for some NFL teams too at cornerback. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I guess he was like really really talented not NFL but college defensive back. Yeah, playing the corner position.
I had a laugh before I make a pick there, but that is pretty.
Yeah, it is a wild matchup.
Give me I think is Nate Robinson the underdog? He's probably the underdog, right?
I think he is. Jake Paul is 10 pounds heavier and 2 inches taller.
I'm assuming Robinson's the underdog. Give me the underdog. Screw it. Why not?
Yeah.
Give me my Robinson. He played for my Knicks. Screw
it. Yeah, I'm rooting for Nate. I'm a sports fan, so I'm rooting for the athlete. And then Jake Paul he's been kind of like a douchebag and like really disrespectful. Like Nate Robinson. I'm like, bro, this guy's like, you're like famous for your brother, really, right? Like I don't really know. I know he's famous on YouTube, but is that from his own videos or from Logan Paul? I don't know. But it's like, dude, you're like I don't know. I just want Nate Robinson to knock him out the way this kid's acting.
I really hope he does. I really hope.
But I'll probably, if you want, if we're up late enough, maybe we'll do a show on that. And then we gotta get some stuff rolling now that I'm like breathing again, and off the couch and off the bed.
Man,
do you got anything coming up on your show? Any interviews or anything like that, or any past ones that we should check out or look out for?
I had on Northwestern senior wide receiver and running back Kyrick McGowan on. I believe it was I think it was actually the day before Thanksgiving. It was when I had him on. So yeah, that was an interesting conversation with him. I just basically talked about the hot start with Northwestern so far, and his versatility. I was talking about that a lot because that's huge, and that's what these NFL scouts I feel like are looking for too is versatility. And that's key in baseball, but it's also key in football as well.
Yeah, I have to get with you then. See if I can get one. Maybe we'll put on a 2-page.
Awesome.
All right, man. Hey, thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Take it easy, man.
You too, man.